Read aloud. Practice set 9. Before the test recording starts, you are given 30 seconds to go through the statements. Make sure to read the sentences thoroughly. Take a pause every time a comma or a full stop appears. Focus on the difficult words and pay full attention to the statements. Now let's start with the first statement. Statement 1. The free market is extremely competitive and companies are constantly trying to gain an edge over their rivals. Merchandising and brand image plays a major role in attracting customers, but they often lead to overpackaging. As you can hear, I took a pause after every comma and full stop. Now let's jump to the next statement and follow the same procedure. Statement 2. If you do experience a motorcycle crash, be aware that the other driver will most likely to blame you for the accident. This includes the road conditions, any skid marks, road signs, construction, and anything else that may have contributed to the accident. Always remember to take a small pause after every comma and full stop. Now let's go to our next statement, statement 3. Owning a pet seems to be a great idea, but people often forget to take in record the responsibilities that come with it. Statement 4. Living room is the most used part that withholds most of the traffic coming in and out of the house. It is highly recommended that the flooring should be strong enough that it can endure all such amendments done with your furniture or to the increasing and decreasing ratio of visitors. Remember to pronounce words like recommended and amendments correctly, as they can be little difficult to pronounce. Statement 5. As you can see, this statement includes difficult words like bureau, commerce, prosperous, and prevailing. Remember to practice these words as well as the statement in your given time. Now let's go through the statement once. The United States is at present the world's market for motor cars and trucks. An agent for the US Bureau of Foreign and Domestic Commerce reports a prosperous condition of affairs prevailing in Japan, which is buying more automobiles, especially large cars, than ever before. Statement 6. This statement also includes difficult words like nuclear, incontrovertible, as well as generating. Let's go through the statement once and try to pronounce these words correctly. Nuclear power, like the boy next door, seems to have grown up overnight. That it has indeed come of age in incontrovertible. For 2 years running, it has accounted for nearly half of all the new power generating capacity ordered by US utilities. Our next statement is Statement 7. Either way, can you handle the truthness? Research says probably not. We are terrible at detecting lies. Even technology doesn't improve our chances. A 2009 study in the Journal of Forensic Sciences explained a technique called voice trace analysis. Our next statement is Statement 8. The founding fathers established constitutional protections for the press because they understood that leaving the watchdog function to partisan politicians wouldn't necessarily serve the public interest. Here, focus on pronouncing the difficult words like established, constitutional, partitions, necessarily, correctly. Now let's proceed with other statements. Statement 9. It isn't rare for private equity houses to hire grads fresh out of business school, he said. But 9 times out of 10, the students who nab these jobs are the ones who had private equity experience under their belt before even starting their MBA program. Statement 10. How quickly is the world's population growing? In the United States and other developed countries, the current growth rate is very slow. In most developing countries, the human population is growing at 3 people per second. Statement 11. As we progress into the 21st century, communications are becoming faster and faster and faster. Think of the millions of different media images you are bombarded with every day. Always go through even the easiest statements in your given time. It is possible that even the easiest statement are little difficult when you are repeating these sentences. Statement 12. We've outfitted it with the space lab built by our European partners and used it before the era of the space station to do scientific research. We used it as a part of our partnership with the Russians, which is still continuing, first as part of the Mir space station. Statement 13. Solar energy is an excellent source of supplying power to homes and companies. And by utilizing solar power, you are not merely protecting the environment from becoming polluted, but also you are saving the rest of the Earth's natural resources. Always take a pause after a comma and a full stop. And keep in mind to pronounce the words correctly. Now let's jump to the next statement. Statement 14. In the second quarter of the 19th century, a rapidly growing middle class created a great demand for furniture production. Yet at this stage, while machines were used for certain jobs, such as carved decoration, there was no real mass production. Statement 15. This statement is overall easy, but words like cellular, components, organelles can be little difficult to pronounce. Let's go through the statement once and practice these words. The number one biggest difference between the bacteria in your body and the cells making up your body are these tiny cellular components called organelles. You have actually learned a lot about organelles in other lessons without knowing it. Statement 16. Dolphins, whales, and tortoises are social animals, but some species are more sociable than others. This depends on the environment because a species adopts the lifestyle most suitable for this. Statement 17. When a virus invades your cells, it kicks your immune machinery into motion. The first responders are signally proteins called interferon, and they trigger downstream immune responses. Statement 18. While killing gorillas is already illegal in the country, declaring the subspecies as critically endangered would probably bring more funding and support for saving it. Our next statement is statement 19. As this statement includes many commas, remember to take a pause every time one appears. It's not that human activities didn't impact wildlife at all, of course. Heavily hunted species like white-tailed deer, grey squirrels, and raccoons were photographed somewhat less often in hunting areas. Coyotes showed up more often in hunted areas. Statement 20. Usually, age is determined by physical characteristics such as teeth or bones. Great if you have a body. Researchers have tried successfully to use blood. But in this study, the scientists use immune cells called T cells recognize invaders through receptors that match molecules on bacteria, viruses, even tumors. Now let's go to the next statement. Statement 21. The tsunamis could provide crucial information about the habitability of ancient Mars. The first one occurred when the planet must have been relatively warm for life, because it carved out backlash channels as it returned to the sea. Now let's go to the next statement. Statement 22. Since its inception, the UN system has been working to ensure adequate food for all through sustainable agriculture. The majority of the world's poorest people live in rural areas of developing countries. They depend on agriculture and related activities for their livelihoods. Let's go to the next statement. Statement 23. Account managers are responsible for ensuring that adequate funds are available in the appropriate object before initiating transactions to use the funds. Always remember to go through the statements in your given time. Statement 24. The shuttle was designed to be a space truck. It's a multi purpose vehicle. We've done a tremendous number of different things with it. It's the most versatile space vehicle that has ever been built. Keep in mind to pronounce the words like tremendous and versatile correctly. Statement 25. The number one biggest difference between the bacteria in our body and the cell making up our body are these tiny cellular components. You will learn a lot about human body in our lessons. Statement 26. Overall, listeners picked out the better than CD quality track 52.3% of the time. Statistically significant, it was not at all that impressive. Statement 27. Before going through any statement, keep in mind all the points that were told to you before the presentation. Keeping in mind those points will help you to read the statement fluently and correctly. Now let's start with this statement. Psychologist Saho Takeji, a graduate student at Kyoto University in Japan, strolls into one of the Japan's many cat cafes. These establishments allow customers to pay an hourly fee for the chance to cuddle some cats. Statement 28. In exchange for these services, the grasses offer ruminants a plentiful and exclusive supply for lunch. For cows have evolved the special ability to convert grass. With single stomach creatures, they can do this because they possess what is surely the most highly evolved digestive organ in nature, the rumen. Statement 29. In other words, integration is needed to facilitate coordination, which is further related to the building of competitive advantage. Always go even through the easiest statement beforehand. Statement 30. This statement is overall easy, but remember to pronounce the words like Dillon, McLean's, context, as well as information correctly. Let's go through the statement once. Dillon and McLean's model has been criticized by some authors. Indeed, this model is specific to context of voluntary use of information technology. The usage variable remains a success variable of information system if the user himself decides to adopt or reject the technology. Statement 31. This statement includes a lot of commas as well as full stops. Remember to take a short pause each time one occurs. Let's start with the statement. At the end of this year, we will launch the cup glass boats. So, these will be about twice the power. The sailors are down in cockpits, unlike today. A lot of power is being generated by these four grinders that are providing hydraulic power, and that energy is being used to control the flying surface, the hydrofoil. Statement 32. What we found is that the plant is actually damaged by herbivores like most plants are in nature. And in response to that, it secretes sugar from the wound edges where the herbivores have damaged the plant. Let's jump to the next statement. Statement 33. Kinderman says he thinks the compound would be a win win for the planet and the animals. The methane is kind of a waste product. And this energy, instead of losing it for the animal, it can be reused for the animal in terms of performance. Our next statement is statement 34. This statement is small and easy, but remember to pronounce the word like colleagues correctly. Now let's give this statement a read. He didn't seem to be outstandingly bright, and many of his colleagues considered him little more than an irritating buffoon. Let's jump to the next statement. Statement 35. For diplomacy, the starting point must be that globalization requires bridges and removes barriers. A policy of containment is a difficult strategy in the age of the fire optic cable, the jumbo jet, and the satellite dish. Our next statement is statement 36. Clemenston wanted to see if claims of caution dodging actually held up. Historically, not only in the unique case on drum. So Clementon analyzed the transcripts of 14 presidential debates from 1996 to 2012. Our next statement is statement 37. Researchers gathered 160 non caffeinated adults, people who consume less than 500 milligrams of caffeine a week. These decaf subjects looked at pictures of various objects, then took a pill containing 200 milligrams of caffeine. Our next statement is statement 38. The best comparison is likely a magneta, a young neutron star with a powerful magnetic field, the researchers said. Magnetas also produce bright X ray flares. Let's jump to the next statement, statement 39. The statement is overall easy, but remember to pronounce the words like electives, device, commercialization, as well as economics correctly. Let's start with the statement. Students may also take electives such as medical device commercialization, healthcare marketing, and the economics and management of the very industry. Statement 40. This statement includes many commas. Remember to take a small pause each time one occurs. Let's start with the statement. Over the centuries, the holiday evolved, and by the 18th century, gift giving and exchanging handmade cards on Valentine's Day has become common in England. Handmade Valentine's card made of lace, ribbons, and featuring cupids and hearts eventually spread through the American colonies. Now let's jump to the next statement, statement 41. Since Plato, philosophers have described the decision making process as either rational or emotional. We carefully deliberate or we blink and go with our gut. But as scientists break open the mind's black box with the latest tools of neuroscience, they are discovering that this is not how the mind works. Let's jump to the next statement, statement 42. As far as politics go, the responses are just as varied. Mitigation is common and calls for a reduction of emissions and less reliance on fossil fuels. Keep in mind to pronounce the words like mitigation, reduction, and emissions correctly. Statement 43. The Office of Personnel Management was the target of the attack, but data from nearly every government agency was stolen. US investigators say they believe Chinese hackers were behind the breach. Our next statement is Statement 44. Let's give this statement a read. Welfare has a special political meaning to the United States because it refers to how the poor receives financial aid. In comparison, welfare services are regarded as a universal right in other regions like Europe, where it is believed that all citizens should be able to obtain a minimal level of social support and well being. Let's go to the next statement, Statement 45. Here, remember to pronounce the words like executive, physicians correctly. Let's give this statement a read. In the fast changing world of modern healthcare, the job of a doctor is more and more like the job of a chief executive. The people who run hospitals and physicians' practices don't just need to know medicine. Statement 46. Environmental problems caused by hard rock mining involve water pollution by metals themselves, chemicals used in processing, acid drainage, and sediment. Take a small pause after every comma. Statement 47. Give all the statements a read beforehand. Now let's go through this statement. Clearly, times are changing, and while many people are saving for their retirement, many more still need to do so. Most countries have a range of pension schemes that are designed to provide individuals with an income once they stop working. Statement 48. This statement includes many commas and full stop. Take a small pause each time one occur. Statistics reflect vital information about the economy, the well being of population, and the environment. Society relies on statistics being visible, accessible, and robust, and on statistically literate people making the best use of the information to determine future action. In this statement, keep in mind to pronounce the words like statistics, relies, visible, accessible, and robust correctly. Now let's jump to the next statement, statement 49. Being physically active benefits people's health significantly, including reducing the risk of some chronic conditions, helping to control weight, and improving mental health. Statement 50. There are a number of tests available which can suggest if a person is telling the truth, but knowing which ones are accurate is not easy. A newly created test is claimed to be the most accurate yet in lie detection.